Welcome friends, welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're going to do another one of those dishes that is a method. And I know that I say this a lot, and the regulars to the channel are probably tired of hearing me say it. But if you learn a method, if you understand the method, you don't need a recipe. And you can then take the method and you can adapt it infinitely to different types of flavors. Take different meats, different spicing, different vegetables. You don't have to then adhere to a recipe because you understand the method. So today is one of those methods. We're going to do a chicken, vegetable, and couscous dish. And I'm going to start out by making the marinade for the chicken. Now, I'm using chicken. You don't have to use chicken. You could use mutton, you could use goat, you could use beef. I mean, you could choose whatever protein you want to put in there. I mean, it could be tofu, it could be beans. It's up to you. So I've got some olive oil in there. We need an acid. I'm going to use some leftover lemon juice from Cocktails After Dark. Do you watch our cocktail show on Wednesdays? This acid component, again, could be vinegar. It could be red wine vinegar, it could be white wine vinegar, it could be just regular old bog standard white vinegar. You just need an acid component or an extra acid component. I'm going to add some salt and some pepper and some tomato paste. About that much. And then crush in a couple cloves of garlic, or, as much garlic as you like. Now, next we come to the spicing, and I'm going to use our homemade Ras Al Hanout. I will link to the recipe video down below in the description box. And if you don't know what Ras Al Hanout is, it's a North African spice mix. Ras Al Hanout loosely translates into top of the shop or best of the shop. And so it is a spice mix that isn't always one thing. It has a lot of variables in there. Every family, every shop, every restaurant is going to have a different mix of what they think is top of the shop. But generally it's within a fairly good margin. If you don't know what Ras Al Hanout is, or you don't like Ras Al Hanout, or you don't want to explore what Ras Al Hanout is, this is the next place where you can just go off in your own direction. I'm sure that everyone out there has these bottles of spice mix in their cupboard. Italian, Tex-Mex, Cajun are three that I have here. I've got a thing of garam masala. I've got a ribbon chicken rub that we use on the grill during the summertime. Same with the cinnamon steak rub, Memphis rib rub. This is Montreal steak spice. Oh, this is our own homemade taco spice. So you can change the spicing. You can change the spicing to match the protein that you're using. You can change the spicing to match what your family likes. You don't have to be beholden and say, oh, that has Ras Al Hanout, I don't like that. Okay, I'm going to add just a little bit more oil. Loosen this up a bit. It's a little thicker than I want it. And I'll probably add a little bit more of the lemon juice. There we go. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to get tongs. Let's see, what have I got? Now, so I've got skin on bone-in chicken thighs. Yes, I hear you typing. You could use chicken legs if you wanted to. You could use chicken breasts. You could use mutton. You could use lamb. You could use goat. You could use beef. Whatever you want. For the vegetable component, I've got shallots and pearl onions because they were in my fridge, but you could use any onion that you like. And you can slice them up or you can leave them whole. Pearl onions I'm leaving whole. I like the way they cook out. I had some yellow bell pepper in the fridge. In that goes carrots and cauliflower. Now, don't get hung up on the vegetable mix. Use what you like. So the marinade just goes on top here. And we'll mix that in just to get everything coated. Now that it's all tossed together, mixed together, put a lid on it and stick it in the fridge. If you've got overnight, leave it overnight. If you've got a couple hours, leave it a couple hours. I've got about 20 minutes. So I'm going to stick it in the fridge for 20 minutes. I'm not going to bother covering it because it's not going to be that long. And then we'll come back and cook it. Okay, we're going to cook it in this cast iron brazier and just dump everything into the pan. And once I get it in here, I'm just going to arrange the chicken on top, skin side up, with the vegetables underneath. There we go. That'll be good. And into the oven. And that's 45 minutes to an hour, or until the chicken is cooked all the way through. Now, I'm going to serve this with couscous. And I'm using a fairly fine-grained couscous, but you could use the larger pearl-sized couscous. There's 2 or 3 different sizes. Use whichever one you like. Of course, the cooking time will be a little bit different. I put vegetable stock in there. It could be chicken stock. It could be just plain water. Again, you could match the stock you're using to sort of the flavors that are happening with what's going on in the oven. You don't have to really worry about it too much because we're going to put this on top of the chicken, put a lid on it, and let it sit for about 10 minutes after we've cooked it in the pot already. So I'm going to bring the liquid up to a boil. You could use rice. This could be rice at this point. This could be pastina. This could be orzo. It's really up to you what you've got in your kitchen, what you're comfortable cooking, what flavors and textures you like. I really like this. And I'll often toast the couscous in a frying pan. I'll put a little bit of olive oil in there and sort of toast it in the olive oil under high heat, and then pour the hot liquid into that other pot. But tonight I'm just trying to make it really simple. So I'm going to add a little bit of salt. Of course, the amount of salt you add depends on how salty your broth is. Of course, if you're using water, you need to salt it. And I'm just going to pour this in, give it a stir, turn off the heat, put a lid on, and let that sit for about 10 minutes. Okay, so now we pull the chicken from the oven. Look at that, how roasty and nice that is. And I'm just going to spoon the couscous in around the chicken. And that will pick up some of the flavors of what's going on down here in the bottom. Put the lid on and just let that sit for another 10 minutes or so. Okay, so look at that. The couscous has sucked up some of the flavor from the chicken and the sauce and the vegetables. So get out a piece of chicken.
Hey, Glenn. Hey, friends. What you got?
Couscous. Well, we got some couscous and cauliflower, and there's a pearl onion there, and
Ooh,
a
I like
shallot.
Shallots and pearl onions. Listen to you.
Well,
Was this like a mix mash of the things at the
It's-
bottom of the fridge?
the stuff from the bottom of the fridge. Totally the stuff from the bottom of the fridge. It is one of those meals.
A little couscous. So what's our base flavor on this? Because couscous kind of just
This
takes
this
it all
was
in.
Ras El Hanout
Ooh.
is the base spice. But as I explained to everyone out there, you could do any spice combo that you want.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I want to have that, but I know that this piece of cauliflower, this is going to be so hot.
The flavor's all through that. That's
It's really
good.
nice.
Yeah. So the
I'm hoping
cauliflower.
we're having this for supper.
We're having this for
Okay.
supper. So the cauliflower does break down to kind of really soft. Same with the onions and the shallots. At the risk of not being able to talk, I'm going to have
Who's going to have another one? So while he does that, I'm going to put it. I don't know what happened here. There's a big hole.
that was an accident. I'm going to refilm that one.
It's a, yeah.
That was
That's,
a bit of an accident. So, I use the tiny couscous. You could use the pearl couscous. You could use orzo. You could use rice. You could use any spicing combination. You could put any vegetables in here that you want. You could use any protein that you want. I use chicken thighs. You could use drumsticks. You could use breasts. You could use mutton. You could use goat. You could use
Tofu.
beef. You could use tofu.
Don't forget the tofu.
You could change up the spicing to whatever you want. It's a method. Take the method, and you don't need a recipe.
Okay.
Take the method, and you own the kitchen.
Ho-ho!
Essentially it. Once you get these methods down, you don't need any recipes, and you can do anything in the kitchen. You can be fearless. But start out slow with a spice combination that you like, that you know you like,
That's always important.
on a protein that you know you like it on. Chicken's really easy, and then you can expand from there. And I didn't, the carrots and the onions and that, they were all at the end of their life in the bottom of the fridge. So, it is
Yes,
a
they
good
were.
way to use up a bunch of stuff in the fridge. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.